So basically, you guys know the whole thing with the Maccabi Tel Aviv fans getting what they deserved in Amsterdam. So basically, Maccabi Tel Aviv's next European match was supposed to be in Turkey against Besiktas, one of the bigger teams in Turkey. However, UEFA has decided they are not going to play the game in Turkey. They have moved it to be played in Hungary. Now, if you know anything about football, having home advantage is genuinely a big deal. Like, I know it sounds like rubbish, it sounds like bullshit. Genuinely, being in your own stadium playing gives you an advantage. I don't know if it's the atmosphere, if it's the being familiar with the surrounding, you don't need to travel as far to get there compared to the away team, you have some sort of advantage. UEFA has stripped that advantage away from Besiktas because of Maccabi Tel Aviv and because of Maccabi Tel Aviv's fans. Now, normally, after what Maccabi Tel Aviv fans did, they should have at the very least been banned from going to away matches in UEFA competition. So really, it should have been, FIFA should have banned Israel, the team, the entirety of Israeli football from competing. Like, this includes the whole league system from competing in competitions. Secondly, they should have just banned the Israel national team. They've not. Third layer down, they should have at least banned Israel football teams, UEFA should have, from competing in UEFA competition. They've not done that. And the very lowest rung is they should have banned the Maccabi Tel Aviv fans from being at the stadium. Like, literally, all of these steps have happened before. Russia, completely banned from playing football non-stop. Second layer, it's about the same. Russia completely banned from playing football, at least on an international level. Then, English football fans got the entirety of English football banned from playing in European competitions for several years because of hooliganism. And then below that, UEFA should have banned Maccabi Tel Aviv fans. That's happened like very regularly in European football. Now, I think FIFA and UEFA aren't doing any of that because of the United States. Because the United States is one of the co-hosts of the next Football World Cup. And I think, especially with the Trump presidency, but I think a Harris presidency would have done the exact same thing. They do not want any negative criticism coming from the United States over banning any step of Israeli football. And they know that in the US, they won't differentiate between UEFA and FIFA. So if UEFA bans Israeli teams, Trump, or it could have been House would have done the same thing, but Trump will come out and say, FIFA banned Israel, we hate FIFA, no Football World Cup. And it's like, and that is FIFA's like bread and butter for earning money. They earn the most money in a World Cup year. So I think that's why FIFA won't do anything, and I think that's exactly why UEFA won't do anything. To be honest, UEFA is slightly more nuanced. I think teams like the German league and the association, the English association, would have probably come out and said, you guys can't ban the Israeli teams. So they both would have had like big levels of government looking down on them and big levels of association going for them. So unfortunately, a Turkish team and Turkish fans are being stripped of their ability to watch their team play European competition. They're being stripped of their home field advantage because Maccabi Tel Aviv fans decided to start and incite a hate riot and attacking the people of Amsterdam. France is also hosting the Israel national team on Thursday, the 14th, and they're doing it in Paris, in the Stade de France, and they've only sold, the last time I checked, 20 out of the 80,000 seats. Now, it is not a big match. They are playing so-called Israel, so it's not a major match for the French, but only 20,000 at the Stade de France out of 80,000. Like, even for a small national team match, you would expect the stadium to be at least half full, at least 40,000. When you go to Wembley for England versus like Peru, I remember going to many years ago, the stadium was almost sold out. Wembley is a 90,000 seater stadium. So it's great to see that some French people are deciding to boycott any matches against so-called Israel. Furthermore, during that match, or in the build-up to that match, there were 2 pro-Israel events going on. One of them is like a march to protect Israel, which has far-right speakers heading it from Israel and from France. And on top of that, there is a like Israel Forever gala, which frankly, saying that makes me want to vomit. They're having a Israel Forever gala, and that as well was actually organised by far-right Israelis. And it's all about basically raising money for Israel. It's probably like the Canadian JNF, which actually is no longer got charitable status, and they have to shut down their workings in Canada. To basically, I think this gala is to raise money for the illegal settlements that they want to continue building in so-called Israel. Well, actually, no, it's not even in so-called Israel. It's in Palestine, and they want to build the illegal settlements in them. But they are doing these 2 far-right events in Paris, in France, likely to try and rile up the locals. I'm sure the march type deal, it's not going to be a peaceful march. It's going to be them doing the same thing the Maccabi Tel Aviv people did, basically spreading like hatred. They're basically going to start chanting like death to Arabs or something at that march. Probably the French police probably won't do anything about that, because the French are high-key racist too, especially towards black people and Arabs. So, one, great to see that people aren't buying tickets to go and watch so-called Israel. And frankly, that is the big thing I think we need to all start doing. Revenue is the most important thing to FIFA, and it's the most important thing to UEFA. If we can find a way to affect their revenues, like boycotts, to stop Israel being present in either competition, in either confederation, I guess, we need to get on that. Africa and Asia do not want Israel. They don't want them there. They already said no, so they can't go there. They came skulking to UEFA. If we can find a way of making it economically unviable for UEFA to be, having Israel in their competitions, that is the best step we need to take. So, if you can, if your local team is going to be facing one of these, so-called Israeli teams, see if you can boycott, see if you can organize within like the fan group to be like, we're not going to go watch this match. Tell your club we're not going to go and watch them. Some clubs actually listen to their fans. And, if there is a match with a so-called Israeli team being played on the television, make sure you and all of your friends and everyone don't watch the match, because they see those viewer numbers and they're like, oh, viewership is way down, and then advertisers will pay way less. So that's the things you need to do, basically, try and affect their bottom line, because revenue is all FIFA and UEFA care about.